All right, lesson 25, the game design process. You get this Defender game. It's got a filled out copy here for you to look at. Um, so it's basically a sample. So you can click on that Word document, open it up, and read through it and see how they did one. But this was also in 24. And so it shows how one should be filled out if you were to make a game. Okay, so you can use this one as a sample. Talks about the alien, where its start point is, if it's having rotation or velocity, the cake, what it's doing. And so this is your kind of your pseudocode for how the game's going to go. As you work through the bubbles, make sure you're reading here and doing what it says. Don't do more than what it says because it doesn't save your game. As you go through each one, you have to go back and redo it. So make sure you just follow the directions. Turn to class state, make the list of information. So if we hit run, okay, so this is the Cake Defender game that you're going to make. Okay. And so you have to decide what's going to make what do what. Okay, so how are we going to, what kind of controls are we going to use? I mean, because I'm not very good at this game, so the goal is, what is the goal here? So the goal is to push the ladybugs off the screen so that they don't touch the cake. Okay? So you need the sprites, you need 2 ladybugs, you need the cake, you need your alien player, variables, score, score value, what type of functions. So player movement, enemy movements, scoring, borders, all that kind of stuff. Write that down. And just keep working through and only do what it asks you to do. Don't do more than that. So plan your project. So we're going to start doing a planning guide, just planning out your final game. And you're going to do this a couple times so you can add to it and make this game as good as you want. So look at the project guide that has already been done. You could download, read through it, make sure how it's being written. You're going to turn one in for your game. So this one, getting started, set animation. Before you get started, you'll want some better animation for each of your sprites. Okay, and the animation tab are animations for each of your sprites. Go back and look and see what they are. All right, so you're going to go to animation, and so you got an alien, you've got the cake, you got your ladybug. You only need 1 ladybug. You don't need 2 because unless you wanted one this color and one another color, then you can go in and add another option for a bug. Let's see, you had here, maybe you want to add this beetle in here. Then you could use the beetle in there. So they have these laid out for you. Create cake, create player, enemy. All right, so you could go sprite, set animation for enemy 1. And then we want enemy 1 to be the beetle. So you have to enemy 1. And then we're going to have to give it, if we hit reset and run, see how big he is up here? So we're going to have to do the scale. And so we're going to have to come in here and go enemy 1 scale. And we're going to do a 0.25, make it 1/4 of its size. And just see how big it is. Let's see. So let's pull in a set animation for enemy 2, and we're going to do the ladybug. You notice there's no starting points for these, so we'll give a starting point of that one at 0, or at we'll say 10, 168. just so we can see it. 10 and 68. And so we'll give this one a starting point of 213. So we say 10 and 213. And so that way we can see our two sizes. Okay, he's still a little big, so if we want to knock him down to 0.15, we can see that's probably not good. Now I had the starting point here at 10s just so I can see them. You're actually going to want them to start off the screen so that they move in. And you can see here that that one is moving a little bit because somewhere in these functions there's a that's just the animation of the bug. It shows it moving. So they have functions that they've created. So this is actual draw loop, and this runs your game plays. And so there's a background, there's enemies touching cake, player movement, enemy displaces, enemy ditches water, shows score. So down here's the background, it's been created for you. Enemy touches cake, so you're going to pull in your if statements. It says, so if enemy one, so we're going to use the is touching button to make that easier. So scroll through here, is touching, so enemy one, enemy one touching cake. I'm not sure what I titled it up here. Cake, okay. If anyone is touching cake, then we want the score to be equal to score minus 1. So as that says that the score will go down by 1 every time one of the enemy touches the cake. The cake's not in there, so we need to put that cake in here real quick. Sprites, animation, cake. We're going to give let's give the enemy, put enemy one puts cake. All right, so I'm going to give the next full day to enemy one. 3. And so that's going to come over there and it touches the cake, and as it's touching the cake, the score's going to go down. Okay, so now the reason that it kept going down, because the entire time it was touching the cake, this scoring option was true. And so what you have to say is if enemy one touches cake, we want the score to go up, and then we also have to say that if enemy one, we can probably put it in here too, if we'll just put it in there. So when that happens, score goes down by 1, and then we want to take, and we're going to reset enemy 1 to X at, we're going to say -5, so it starts off the screen. And so now when we run it, it's going to come over. As soon as it touches the cake, it's going to disappear, it's going to reset, and it's going to come back in. And so it's always going down by 1, and it doesn't continue to go down, because as soon as their proximity indicators touch, it resets the bug's X position. And we do the same thing for the beetle. We can do all that out again, or if we switch it over to show text, we can come in here and copy that part. Right click, copy. And then we can come right here and hit enter, and now we can repaste it. And now we're just going to change this. Instead of saying enemy 1, we're going to say enemy 2. And we're going to come up here and give that enemy 2 a velocity. Velocity of, we'll say 2. We'll make it a little slower. And now we can run it, and now they're both going to move. Now I haven't said that now that one's going to reset too, so it should say, it should have. Nope, because I didn't change this. So now when they both touch the cake, they'll both reset over here, and I've got them different speeds, so they come at a different time. So now you have to do the player controls, how to displace enemies, because now you have a displace. This is how you can push it off the screen. What happens when the enemy touches the water? So when you push the bugs off into the water, what happens? You get a point and they reset. And so you're going to do the same things here, and you just change that to water, and then it runs all these things, all your functions in Droid. All right, work through these. Only do what it says to do. Don't make too much of it, because we need to work through and get through 26 and 27 by the end of the grading period. Make sure anytime there's a Word document that's attached, fill it out and submit it. If you have a printer, you can print it. If you need me to print it and you want to stop and get it, email me and I will print those and have those in the office for you. And then you can just take pictures and submit those to the assignment. Or if you just want to write out the answers on a separate sheet of paper and take pictures of them and submit them, that'd be great too. Make sure you submit those. And then at the final, if it says to submit your game, you would click this share link right here, and then you can copy that URL and paste that in the assignment link, and that way I can play your game, or I can share it with other kids to play your game so they can review it and do some of the follow-up writings. All right, so make sure you stay on task. If you have questions, email me, and we can set up a Zoom to go through some more of this, and we can talk about your code, if it's working or not working, or what we need to look at changing. All right, have a great Tuesday.